Not having any luck with getting your offer accepted? Stay tuned. I got you covered. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Lynette Selby Real Estate. In today's video, we are going to discuss my top 5 tips that you can do to help get your offer accepted in this crazy seller's market. So let's get started. So tip number 1 is to make your offer as clean as you possibly can. So when making an offer, a good suggestion would be to write an extremely clean offer with little to no contingencies. So this means that you are waiving many, if not all, of your contingencies in order to make your offer as competitive as you possibly can. It also may be a good idea to not ask for seller concessions. So a seller concession are things that a buyer may ask for the seller to pay for. For example, a buyer may ask for the seller to pay for some or all of their closing costs or to pay for a home warranty. In this very competitive market, I would stay away from asking the seller to pay for anything. In some cases, this may not be an option. So if you are asking the seller to pay for items or possibly make repairs, it's a good idea to keep those requests to a minimum. When there are multiple offers on a property, the buyer with the cleanest offer with little to no contingencies and no seller concessions may be the one that seller picks. So tip number 2 is to avoid asking for personal property. When making an offer on a property, I do not recommend that you ask for personal property in the home. For example, including that dining room set or curtains that you saw in the bedroom. Don't include that in your offer. When a buyer asks for personal property, especially in this very competitive seller's market, that seller may just skip over your offer altogether. So remember that you are trying to purchase the home and not the items that are inside of the home. So asking for excluded items could actually weaken your offer. And there could be a lot of offers out there that are pretty comparable to yours. However, by you asking for all of this personal property, that seller may just skip over and choose another offer where the buyer isn't asking for so much. So tip number 3 is offering above asking price. When you are in a seller's market, it's not a good idea to try to lowball the seller and make a lowball offer on the property. There's so many buyers out there shopping for a home, so you have to keep that in mind when you're making your offer. Chances are the home that you're making an offer on is probably going to be in a multiple offer situation. So you will need to make your offer stand out and be as strong as possible. And sometimes that means offering above the asking price. I have made offers that were accepted with offers as low as $1,000 over the asking price and some as high as $20,000 over the asking price. So if you decide to make an offer and you're going over the asking price, it may be a good idea to talk with your real estate agent to make sure that would be a good idea. So tip number 4 is to put down a strong earnest money and due diligence deposit. So your earnest money deposit is a deposit that you put down with your offer. It is also considered a good faith deposit that shows the seller that you are, a serious buyer and you're really wanting to purchase that property. The real estate firm or closing attorney usually holds this money in an escrow account. I made a video about the earnest money deposit, so for additional information, you might want to click here or here or here to watch that video about earnest money deposits. So the earnest money deposit is usually about 1 to 5% of the purchase price. So putting down a larger earnest money deposit may help your offer get accepted. Same for due diligence. So the main difference between your earnest money deposit and your due diligence is that the due diligence payment goes directly to the seller. So offering a large due diligence may be exactly what you need to do to get your offer accepted. So my final tip is tip number 5, and this is to make sure your offer is complete. So this one may seem like a no-brainer, but it actually happens a lot. So when you're sending over an offer, please make sure that you have your real estate agent review that contract for any errors and make sure that they send over a completed contract. If a seller receives 25 offers, they may not give an offer a second thought if they see an incomplete contract. So make sure you, as well as your real estate agent, review that contract. Make sure you're looking over everything and everything has been completed before you send it over to the sellers. So those are my top 5 tips to help you get your offer accepted in this wild seller's market. I hope that you can use some of these tips when you're making your next offer and you can get that offer accepted. Remember that I upload videos every week. So if you are into real estate content and information about Greensboro, North Carolina and the surrounding areas, it may be a good idea for you to subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so you never miss an episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next week. You take care. Bye-bye.